Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In Monster Strike, let's do a monster review of Yami Marik, the new super duper difficult quest where you only need to beat once. And then anytime that there's like a new collaboration and then there's a super difficult quest to go through, people tend to compare those characters to like previous collaborations. So I thought I would do this here, and I should have prepared more to see like what number these characters are, but let's see if I can find them all, and then we'll talk about them all. The first one was Toka Doll. I think he was from the Yu Yu Hakusho, maybe? But anyway, let's look through here. Okay, here we are. Yes, Toka Doll 100%. And then before I go any further, I don't have any of the other ones except for Tuckasegee, but we'll get to him later. Toka Doll, he's got the double Slayer and then the Bounce No Warp. There are lots of other Bounce No Warp characters out there, so I'm not too sad about missing this guy. It would be interesting to play his quest though. I heard it was pretty difficult. Okay, I think the next one was Blood Ray here, and then he's a Bounce with no Gravity Barrier, no Magic Circle. This was not super useful for a long time, until recently. There were some Colossal quests, and then a few more of kind of the super extreme quests lately. But then El Dorado got his buff. So if you miss Blood Ray, you could make the max luck of El Dorado instead. Easier said than done, but... I feel like there was one that I missed. Was it this one? Anyways, I forget if this guy was like super high difficulty level or not, but Sensui, Pierce with no warp and triple Slayer, he was really good for Eden, but I never really needed him. I think I used like a Tsukuyomi or somebody. I think this is the one that I was missing, Saga. Although this version is the same as the dark version, I think. No Pierce, no warp, no block. Yeah, those are just the same, so you actually didn't have to beat the higher level. Pierce, no warp, no block. There's a few of those, so it's not a big deal to miss this one either. The next one was Meta, and then of all of the super high level limited time characters, this guy has one of the best reputations. And then I actually was playing when his quest was offered, but I just did not have a max luck to use in there. I know a lot of people encouraged me to go after it anyway, but I just didn't feel like it. He is a Bounce with no Gravity Barrier, no Wind, which is, you know, not so uncommon. So I never really missed getting this guy. He does have the Counter Killer, which is pretty good, and the Super No Gravity Barrier. So he is good if you have him, but not an emergency if you don't. And then here is Tuckasegee. He's the only one that I have at max luck. On paper, he's good. He's a Pierce with Minesweeper and no Gravity Barrier, and then the Command Strike Shot, and then a pretty strong Cross Laser, or X Laser. But I just never use him. I usually end up using Kine. I think just because it took more effort to make Kine. And then I think the most recent one was Shishio. He is a Pierce with no Gravity Barrier, could be Super No Gravity Barrier, and then no Warp. That's a pretty good double null sling style combination. But I have like, who is it? I have Bishamonten and Scorpica. And then I actually don't use them very much anyway, so I'm not missing Shishio. Although him and then Medoem, I think they have the two best reputations of all of these characters. The reason why I gave up on him was just because the system of how you get him, it was like the Dyna system. So you had to play like one quest until you get an appearance, and then play Shishio once, and then go back to the other quest. I just didn't like going back and forth between the two types of quests, so he's at like 50 luck for me. Okay, but finally, let's look at Yami Marik, and then you do have to beat his high-level quest once in order to get him. That was very difficult, took me a full week, and then I had to make the max luck on top of that, so I felt like I worked pretty hard for him. but I think he's definitely worth the effort. In talking about all of those like very high-level quest characters together, Meruem and then Shishio, they have the best reputations. And then everybody else is kind of like a tier below. A lot of people are saying now that Yami Marik is about maybe that second tier, but I don't know about that. He's really, really good, and then he also has like a very high-level quest just all ready for him, where he's like one of the top characters in the game for that. And then that is level 15 of the Chamber of Secrets. And then for there, you want bounce characters with no warp and flight or minesweeper. And then one of the very best Hatcher monsters in there, Rue, he has all that. And then also the speed up bump combo. The speed up bump combo really helps you in there. And then Malik has that. So that easily makes him the best drop monster for that quest. And maybe better than most of the Hatcher monster candidates for that quest. So he's pretty darn good. And then the reason why you want to play level 15 of the Chamber of Secrets is so that you can get the appearance from Setsuna, who's still one of the best characters in the game. Maybe like top 3, but yeah, really, really good. But anyway, looking at Yami Marik, stats are fine. HP, yeah, that's fine. Attack is okay, but he doesn't have a gauge, so it won't go any higher than that. And then speed is also good for a bounce type. And then he's a bounce with the super no warp and flight, no gauge. That gets a thumbs up for me. The no warp is attached to luck. So if he has 1 luck, he'll just have regular no warp. If he has max luck, he will pick up super no warp, which will raise his attack based on the number of warps on screen. And then you'll know that you're getting that because when you hit somebody, you'll have like a purple cloud come out of you. I think the first time I ever saw that was in Kamui, and it like freaked me out. I was wondering what that was. But he's got a critical luck skill, which is very good for a character with, that is max luck. And then the bump combo is pretty crazy. He has the lock-on one-way laser, which is pretty rare on a drop monster. That is also like full power. And then the sub-bump combo is speed up S. And that's always really great to have on a max luck as well. And then again, makes him really great for level 15 of the Chamber of Secrets. And then Strike Shot, it's a speed and power up. And then after he stops, then the Phoenix that he summons will hit everybody on screen, guaranteed. So it's kind of like a Meteor Strike Shot, but better, because he doesn't have to actually hit everybody on screen. This is really good for like zombie loops or that kind of thing. Pretty rare Strike Shot. I remember a little while ago there was another collaboration where there was a 5-star monster with that same Strike Shot. And just for that, he got a lot of praise for that. So yeah, he can do good direct damage with his super no warp, good bump combo damage with his lock-on one-way laser, good overall damage with his strike shot, and then speed up a little bit of supportive ability as well. So he's pretty darn good as a max luck. I had to work pretty hard to get him, but yeah, again, he is worth it. And then I would recommend that if you do unlock this Yami Marik, I would get 3 copies of him. The one that you make max luck will have the super no warp. The other 2 will not have the super no warp, but they'll have everything that you need. And then having multiples comes in handy in case you wanted to make a team of him, or if you wanted to use multiple copies in the sealed watchtower, which prevents you from using a character more than once. I think he could be a decent candidate for a hero scroll. You can give him a sidekick for his lock-on one-way laser. You can give him a kin strength just for more attack. That will also help his critical. And then maybe a strike haste, so you can get out that hit everybody strike shot out more easily. As for quests that he is good for, other than level 15 of the Chamber of Secrets, he'd be good for Daikokuten, Anko, Tsukuyomi Kai, which you will need to be playing every month anyway if you are doing the Sealed Watchtower. Or places with just, no warp or flight. But the two Max Lux that I have that are of the same sling style double null is like Marishten and Arcadia, and I still use them a lot. But in some cases, maybe a lot of cases, Malik is going to be better than either of them, so I'm pretty excited to have him. Oh, another quest he would be good at is Yasha Myo, and I think I'm going to try him the next time Yasha Myo comes around. Okay, but anyway, let's take Malik into a quest. We'll take him to Anko, the Super Extreme quest, and then I'll bring 2 more of him. And then there we can kind of look at the difference between the Max Luck one and then the 1 Luck one. Look at the damage that they do with their direct attacks. But then also we can see that the 1 Lux will just go through the warps, just like normal. I was worried that at 1 Luck, maybe the Null Warp would not be activated at all on the Yami Marik, but it just acts like the regular Null Warp. We can see that right here, so yeah, no problem. I didn't want to think about maybe have to raising them to like 10 luck or 20 luck in order to, activate their Null Warp, but 1 luck will be fine, so I can recommend everybody to get 3 copies of the guy. And the ball art is very cool. In Monster Strike, I like characters that look like actual monsters, so the fact that it looks like a phoenix is pretty cool. And then my friend is Rosa Transcendent. She's another flight with Null Warp. She's pretty good. I don't have her, but yeah. And then we're going through Anko, which has both of the warps and the mines. And then this clear was very quick with this team full of Malik. I played it with like, I might have used Marishten and then like Meliados. But this team here, the clear was much faster than any previous team I had used. And then I even stall towards the end of the fight because I went through it too quickly and then the strike shots were not charged up, so... So if you do have the max luck of Yami Marik, and then you do not have the max luck of Anko, I can highly recommend that you go through and then make her, because she's really good. I have not put up my list of top dark max lucks, but Anko will be on there. And she's so good that you don't need to make the max luck of Yomi. So yeah, all the more reason to get Malik and then use him in here. But yeah, we're seeing good damage from the lock-on one-way lasers, so that's pretty crazy. And then lots of speed, of course, from the speed-ups. And then that little like purple smoke that we saw, that was the Super Null Warp coming out of that first Malik there. Okay, lots of speed up, lots of healing. I remember back in the old days when people were, hunting for Hakua and then looking for characters that would be really good for Hakua. Malik would be pretty good for her because he's got the speed up. And then attack is pretty high as well. Okay, there goes the drone. I don't know if I've ever taken down the drone in this quest before. But all the lock-on one-way lasers and then the Super No Warp, I guess, took it down. Okay, there goes Anko. And yeah, as we can see, none of my strike shots are up yet for the Malik. So from here, I am going to stall a little bit, just in order to look at that. With Rosa, let's use the strike shot that will reveal the boss's weak points. And then she's kind of cool. I think she has recovery as well. She might be the only character that has that strike shot to reveal weak points and also recovery, so That makes her kind of special. Okay, just one more turn. Let's see if we get some healing walls out. Alright. Alright, and then finally, let's use the strike shot. Again, it's a speed and power up, and then when he stops, he will summon the Phoenix, and the Phoenix will hit everybody. Unfortunately, I got an irregular bound and took down the boss with the lock-on one-way laser. But we can see the effect, and then just know that it'll hit everybody on screen. Damage is not super high with the Phoenix hitting everybody, but you know, it's enough that it hits everybody. That still makes it very useful. Okay, so that was a look at Yami Marik. If you have not beat his super difficult quest yet, just keep trying. And then if you do beat it, then make 3 of him. That's my recommendation. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.